Ready?
Mhm.
Hi Bethany, thanks for coming back. How are you doing?
Okay.
Yeah? How's work going so far?
It's going okay. It's kind of busy right now because just trying to get stuff ready before the long weekend.
Sure. That's understandable. Um, and how's the family? Have you been able to spend any more time this last week with your kids or husband?
A little bit more than usual because of Thanksgiving,
Okay.
so we had a couple of days break. Um, so we just spent a lot of time with family, and then we just kind of hung around the house and watched movies and did puzzles and things like that. So it was okay.
Okay. Well, thank you for agreeing to meet with me like this. I know sometimes the teletherapy is a little strange, not having somebody directly in front of you. If this is something that you don't like going forward, just please let me know, and we can try and adjust what we do then.
Okay.
Okay, so I was looking over the notes from our discussion last week, and we kind of had talked a little bit about how what it seemed to me, what you were describing sounded like depression, and you agree that that kind of made sense to you. Does that sound familiar?
Yeah. It does. Yeah.
Okay. Um, and I know last week I sent with you some information on cognitive behavioral therapy and what that kind of means. But since our last visit, I was wondering if you'd be interested in trying more of like a behavioral activation therapy. And
Um, what exactly is
okay, it's pretty similar to what we were doing last week already. It was kind of in the homework assignment that I gave you for last week. It would look more like that for behavioral activation. What it does is it looks at what you're doing and how you're feeling and how we can kind of maybe work on what you're doing to help better how you're feeling. Does that kind of make sense?
a little bit. It sounds kind of complicated.
Sure. It does sound kind of complicated. It's a little less scary than what it sounds like. So what this would look like, and I know right now, you really sound, you would just mention, it's a struggle just to get through the day, and you're tired a lot and not really feeling like your normal self. So what this therapy would look at is seeing, what did you used to do that made you happy? Whether that's reading or going, I know you mentioned going for walks with your family or something like that, and just making small steps to get back to doing those activities with the result that after you have some time doing those activities, it might help improve your mood.
Oh, okay. So by doing stuff that'll help me improve, that there won't be depressed. Is that what it is?
Mm-hmm. Does that sound like something you might be interested in us continuing on with?
I'll try it. Sounds complicated.
That's understandable. The nice thing with this therapy is, although it's pretty structured in what the kind of tasks we're going to want to do are, there really isn't any right or wrong in how we approach it. And we can take as much time as we kind of need in the different stages. So it's definitely, I don't want you to think that your homework for tonight will be to go for a mile walk with your kids. I would never make you do something like that right out of the chute. It's not. So we can kind of ease into it and discuss more about what feels, what you miss and what you would like to do.
Okay.
Okay. So in discussing, I know I already mentioned the homework. Were you able to kind of look at your schedule for the day? Because I know last week you mentioned you just don't have time.
Yeah, it was really hard for me to, well, I forgot at first, and then I remembered that I forgot to do it. So there's like a couple of days there's nothing, just because I forgot. But I tried to do it like during lunch break and just write down some things. So I did write a few things down, but it did kind of it's one of those things where I did kind of forget once in a while. So.
Okay.
I did write it down. I wrote things down.
Okay. And unfortunately, because of the weather, we're meeting like this week. But would you be able to tell me some of the things that you wrote down? For some of the things, what encompasses your day?
Oh, okay. Let's see here. I have, what do you want to know?
Well, when would you say, because it's easy to say, oh, my day starts at 5 o'clock in the morning, or with teaching, I mean, of course, I know there's a lot of, school might end at 3, but then there's meetings and such. After the school day, I guess that's kind of the time period before the school day and after the school day. I was curious what you were able to come up with for what activities you were busy with.
Oh, well, I did write down just only 2 days. I remember to do that.
Okay.
After, I wrote down here I have, one day was 7 at night. It just says, clean the kids, into the shower.
Okay.
And then after that, it says 9 o'clock, I put them to bed. And then from like 9:30 to 11, I just kind of laid on the couch and watched TV and did really nothing. And then I got up and drank some coffee and worked on just some little projects for the next day at school. So that's like a day. Is that kind of what you wanted me to do?
That's perfect.
Okay.
And one of the things I wanted to, that's perfect. Because what I'd like to do as we're going forward is looking at those little, the activities that you do. And then, well, actually, we could practice one of those now. So you mentioned putting the kids in the shower. And there was one activity. Then you had putting them to bed was another activity.
Yep.
And then watching TV. Although you only the 2 days on the week, which is just fine definitely for starting out. Can you recall how you felt when you were doing those different activities?
Which activities? The ones.
Like, how did it feel to bathe your kids and get them to bed?
Okay, normal. I mean, that's what I usually do. So,
Okay. Okay. Did you feel because I know sometimes when you're kind of stuck in that depression streak, it's like every day is like a baseline for did the baseline seem to change at all doing the different, whether it was doing the spending time with the kids, getting them to bed, or the watching TV?
I mean, for me, it's just kind of normal, but I think that's kind of where I get stuck too, and feeling that everything's just so normal.
Okay.
So, I mean, yeah, I get, yeah.
When you mean normal, do you mean it's kind of ambivalent?
Every day is the same kind of thing.
Okay.
It's kind of like just going through the motions. You do everything 1,000 times in your life, like nothing is exciting, nothing changes. Just I mean, it's hard for me too because it's my job to do those, and then I feel bad about thinking that it's normal or something. But I mean, it is my job to do those things as a mother, but I don't. It's not that I don't enjoy them. It's just like I feel like a week without doing everyday things.
Mhm.
So yeah.
Okay. One of the things then I guess I would like to try, and with behavior activation, homework and activities in therapy is pretty common. Which, if you like it, please let me know. If you don't like it, please let me know. Um, this is definitely your time, so I'd like to use your time as best as we can. Um, and I know last week we talked about some of the things that you like to do, but I guess I was hoping for right now, could you just, if you're able to off the top of your head, list maybe 3 things that you really enjoy. 3 activities that used to bring you a lot of pleasure.
That I used to enjoy.
Sure. Before you started feeling this way.
Oh, spending time with my mom. Like we would. The holidays really hard for me because we used to go Christmas shopping all the time together. So that's time because I have to do that by myself.
Mhm.
Spending time with my mom, I used to enjoy that. Doing like more fun stuff with friends, just going to a movie or going out to eat. I haven't done that in a very long time. And I really like doing that, just to go out and laugh. And then I think probably just maybe like spending time as a family, like doing outside things, like hiking, bike riding, just going to the park and having fun.
Okay. Thank you for that. So those are 3 really really good ideas. And I understand the holidays are hard. Um, have you been able were you able to do anything with your family over the holidays? I mean, did you guys do like a remembrance for your mother, or were you able to talk about it at all? Not so much. Okay. Yeah, I remember you mentioning that was a struggle in the past as well. Okay. Um, and as far as the movies and the family outside activities, just so we can kind of have a good place to start and moving forward. Um, for hanging out with friends, maybe we'll use that as an example. On a scale from 1 to 10 right now, 10 being, yep, let's go, 0 being not gonna happen whatsoever, where do you think you'd put yourself right now?
Like if they called and asked me,
Sure, yeah.
like 4.
Okay. And why do you think a 4 instead of a 5? And what do you think we could maybe work on that would help you feel, maybe okay?
I don't know, but
Sure. So kind of those feelings of guilt would be in your head.
Yeah, I think so. I always feel guilty. I can't, I feel guilty because I don't have a family. So, like going out and just leaving, and I would feel guilty for that because that's the time I should be spending with them.
Okay. Well, I know. Did you receive my emails for the what we were doing? I was hoping to go over with today.
Yeah.
Okay. So looking at the going out with your friends, one of the activities I'd like if you can try and do it going forward, maybe just one day this next week. That could be your assignment if you're okay with it. And we'll go through this example together right now, and then doing it like one more time, or if you feel comfortable doing it more times on your own for your homework assignment, then we can try that. But one of the things, so the sheet that I sent you that has the 3 bubbles on it,
I printed those out at work. So.
okay, wonderful. So one of the examples that, as far as looking at our behaviors, how they affect our moods, and how that thusly affects our behaviors again. We can use, if you're okay with it, do you mind if we use the example of your friends calling you?
Alright.
Or would you feel, because the first bubble is looking at what happens. What happened. Whether it's you're invited with your friends, or maybe getting in an argument with your husband, or a coworker requesting something of you. The first bubble is just an activity, an event that happened.
Okay.
Would you like to use your friends, or would you like to try something different, something more present on your mind?
You can use that.
Are you sure? Okay. So if we said what happened, and we do, have you received a call from your friends recently?
Like 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
Is that too far?
No.
Okay.
No, we can use as an example. So what happened? Call from friends. Okay, 1 second. Cut. We're at the 28 minutes. So 1 second. Let me start the next video.
Okay, I did not want to interrupt you, but I think your dog was wiggling the camera.
Oh, was it really wiggly?